Good morning, students. Welcome back to RV Online Classes. Today in this session, you are going to learn the remaining part of the lesson, the myth of Icarus. First, I want to read the lesson. But Didaeus had not been wasting his time. He burned with anger against the king and was determined to escape every day. He would climb up onto the tower roof and collect the feathers of birds that had drifted down on the breeze. He collected the snow white feathers, gulls, and tail feathers of sea eagles, the down of the sparrow chicks, and sharp tipped wings of swifts. Day by day, the mound of feathers grew, and night after night, by candlelight, Diddles worked on his greatest invention. One bright summer day, he finally put down his tools. It is finished, he said. In his hands, he held a wooden frame in the shape of a cross, tied together with a rope. Each arm was covered in feathers. Diddles strapped it to his son's back, and Thin picked up similar one for himself. Father and son stood at the window. Imagine you are a bird, Diddle said. Just flap your arms and you will soar free. But you must remember one thing, do not fly too high, otherwise, the wax holding the feathers together will melt. And with that, he launched himself off the tower. Icarus felt a wild laughter bubbling up inside him as he watched his father glide through the air. He spread his arms as though embracing the whole world and leaped into the sky. He flapped his arms, and the wind caught his wings and lifted him up, and he was soaring, laughing, sailing through the bright air. Far below, the townfolk looked up and gasped, thinking that these were angels flying to their home in heavens. Swooped with joy, they were free. He swooped over the town and out across the bay, feeling light as a feather himself. He raised the seagulls and left the earth far below, his heart beating wildly. Forgetting his father's warning, he flew towards the sun. He felt that he could fly on forever, right up to the heavens and onwards towards the stars. As he watched the figure of his son grow smaller and smaller, Daedalus shouted out him, but Icarus was too high to hear. The sun blazed down on Icarus' wings, and the wax gluing the feathers together began to soften and melt. And one by one, the feathers began to fall like the first flakes of snow. Diddles watched helplessly as his son came tumbling out of the sky, flailing his bare arms, and plunged into the ocean. His father flew low over the waves, scanning the water for any sign of life. But all he found were a few white feathers floating on the surface. He finally came to the land on a small island which he named Icarus in honor of his beloved son. And there he lived out the rest of his days heartbroken and alone. Before starting the explanation, I want to recall the yesterday's explanation. Here, this is a Greek myth or mythology story. Here, the one person who was known as Daedalus, he is a very good in master in builders, and he designs one labyrinth for that king, and it is used to punish the criminals. And one day, he helped a innocent woman, young woman, and so the king became angry, and he ordered that Daedalus to caught in that labyrinth, highest topmost level. He punished him, and along with him, his son also got punished. And some of the people said that uh, why the king is punishing the son without any mistake or fault or wrong. Uh, both are both are watching from the window of that labyrinth how the birds are flying. They sketched one plan. They want to uh, collect the feathers of that uh, birds, and they collected. Then after what happened today, you are going to learn. But Daedalus had not been wasting his time. He is not wasting his time. He burned with anger against the king. He is burned with the anger against his king and was determined to escape. He is determined means having made a firm decision and being uh, resolved not to change it. He made a strong decision to escape from that place. Every day he would climb up onto the tower roof and collect the feathers of birds. Here daily he is climbing up to the roof of that labyrinth, and he is collecting the feathers which are drifted. Drifted means be carried slowly by a current of air or water, here which are fallen down on the breeze. He collected the snow white feathers of gulls and tail feathers of sea eagles. Here both are birds. Gulls means a long winged web footed seabird with a resource call. And sea eagles means a large Eurasian fish eating eagle. Here both are birds. He collected the feathers of that both birds. The down of the sparrow chicks and the sharp-tipped wings of the swifts. Here he collected the even small feathers of the sparrow, and the swifts means happening quickly or promptly. He is as quickly as possible. He is collecting that one. Day by day, mound of feathers grew, and night after night, day by day, that mound means a large pile here or quantity of something. It is go on growing. Means daily he is go on collecting that feathers. By candlelight, Daedalus worked on his great invention. Here, here what he is doing at the night, he is working about his great invention. Means he is preparing wings with that feathers which he is collecting. One bright summer day, he finally put down his tools. It is finished. See here, in one summer day, it is completed. What he want to do that with that feathers, he want to make a wing. He said in his hands, he held a wooden frame in the shape of a cross tied together with the rope. Here, what he done, he this is wooden and here he is joining the feathers. Which is tied to his back and as well as for his son's back. Here large numbers of feathers are to make the support. He is using just like a cross. Each arm was covered in feathers. Daedalus stripped it to his son's back. Stripped it means a narrow piece of leather or other strong material used for fastening something or giving support. Here it is giving the support to fly. To fly. And then picked up a similar one for himself also. They made two. First one for himself and then second one for his son. And imagine you are a bird. Now he is saying to his son, imagine you are a bird. Daedalus said, just flap your arms. Flap means move up and down when the flying are preparing to fly. The birds are making the wings ups and downs, that is known as flap. But you must remember one thing, do not fly too high. He is giving one instruction to his son, you must flap your arms, but at the same time you do not fly too high. Otherwise the wax holding the feathers together will melt. See here, they are not real. Here's what he done. He fixed these feathers with the wax. With the wax. If you fly high, that wax will melt. Feathers will fall down. So don't fly too high. He is giving instructions. Wax means a substance made from fat or oil that melts easily and is used for making candles. Melt means to change or make something change from solid to or liquid by means of heat. Here, the sun, as you go high, the heat is increased so that the wax will get melt and the feathers will fall down. And with that, he launched himself off the tower. By saying like this, he launched himself. Launched means a place you jump with a great force. He launched himself. Icarus felt a wild laughter bubbling up inside him as he watched his father glide through the air. First, his means Daddle's glide or jump or launch. By seeing that, the Icarus was bubbling. Bubbling means to be full of happy feeling. He is feeling very happy by watching his father glide through the air. He spread his arms as though embracing the whole world. See here, what he is doing. Mm, embrace means something you put your arms around it. He is hugging or embracing. And the whole world, he is embracing the whole world and leapt into the sky. He flapped his arms, he moved his arms, and the wind caught his wings and lifted him up and was soaring, laughing, sailing through his bright air. Now he is also flying and he is feeling very happy. How he is feeling? He is laughing, soaring through the bright air. Far below, the town folks looked up and gasped, thinking that these were the angels flying to their home in heavens. While they are flying, town folks means here refers to the people who live in a particular town, and they are what they are thinking. They are thinking the angels are flying to their home in heavens. By seeing them, they are thinking, by seeing the Daedalus and the Icarus, what they are thinking, the town peoples are thinking, the angels are flying to their home in heaven. Icarus whooped with joy. They were free. He swooped over the town and out across the bay. Here, whooped means making shout loudly in a very happy or excited way, because he is feeling very light in the air. They were free before they are, got that punishment, means they are prisoner, and now they are free, and he is swooped to fly, move down suddenly over the town and out across the bay, feeling light as feather. How he is feeling? He is feeling just like a feather. Feather is very light himself. He raised the seagulls and left the earth for blue. His heart beating wildly, forgetting his father's warning, he flew towards the sun. What he done? He forgotten what the father said, and he is racing with that seagulls, birds, and he went high in that sky. He felt that he could fly on forever. What he is thinking, I can fly forever, right up to the heavens and on towards the stars. I can fly forever towards the heavens and stars. As he watched the figure of his son grow smaller and smaller, because he is flying very high, but his father is very low. Now he is seeing that his father's means his son's figure is growing smaller and smaller. Daedalus shouted out him what he is saying, but Icarus was too high to hear. Now he is saying, no, don't go up, come down. But he is very high to listen that one. The sun blazed. The sun was shining very brightly, blazed down on Icarus, wings, the wax gluing feathers together began to soften and melt. As the sun is shining, means the heat is more, and by that heat the wax will start melting, and the feathers will become very soft, and one by one the feathers begin to fall like first flakes. When the wax started melting, one by one feathers started falling down, and here how it is. First flakes means a small loose mass of bit. Small loose mass of that bit is falling just of the snow. Daedalus watched the helplessly. He is not able to help his son. He is looking helplessly, tumbling. Tumble means to fall quickly and violently. Now he is thinking if feathers is falling one by one, if there is no feather means he will fall violently. So that is known as tumbling out of the sky, flailing his bare arms and plunged into the ocean. Now all the feathers will went down and he fell into the ocean. His father flew low over the waves, scanning the water for any sign of life. He is watching that one. But all he found were a few white feathers floating on the surface. Already sun was sink in that ocean. The feathers will float on that water. He finally came to a land on a small island which is named as Icarus in honor of his beloved son. And he went to a small island and he named that island as the Icarus in honor of his son. And there he lived out rest of his days, heartbroken and alone. He lived alone. Okay, students, we are getting one moral from this story. We are not more greedy what we have. Now I want to write the meanings. Determine. Having made offering decision and being resolved, not completed. Next one, drifted. Be carried slowly by a current of air or water. Next, girls. A long winged web-footed seaboard. Next one, sea eagles. A large Eurasian Eurasian fish eating no, a large pond are quantity of something. No, of a bird move its wings up and down, up and down when flying. Beautiful. Shout loudly. Tuna, very happy or excited with. Smoothly. To fly or move down suddenly. gluey, adhesive substance. First, cakes, a small loose, a small loose mark. I think you understood this lesson. Thank you.